It does three things. It says that local ordinance cannot implement a ban-the-box ordinance. It says that local ordinance cannot raise minimum wage, and it says that local ordinance cannot mandate sick leave requirements on private business. So a little bit of background as to how we got here. My city, the city of Columbia, a number of months ago implemented a ban-the-box ordinance, which was the most extreme in the country for a couple of reasons. For one, it was the first in the country to apply to private business, and secondly, it was the first in the country to say that an employer could not ask if an applicant was a felon until after an employment offer had been extended. And so what that means in practical terms is that in the city of Columbia today, a daycare center cannot ask a potential child abuser if they are in fact a child abuser until after they have offered them a job, which I would hope that we would all freely admit is absurd, to say the least, and troubling at that. So what this is designed to do, and furthermore, let me hit the other two parts real quick. I believe local ordinance raising minimum wage is currently against state law. Section 67.1571.1, titled Political Subdivisions, Miscellaneous Powers, quote, no municipality is defined in Section 1, Paragraph 2, Subsection 9, shall establish, mandate, or otherwise require a minimum wage that exceeds the state minimum wage. That's currently in state statute. I don't believe I'm doing anything new there except providing clarification for a law that was passed a number of years ago. I think the overarching theme for me is just understanding the fundamental role of government at the various levels. I think it's important for us to make a couple of distinctions. One, states the state is responsible for enacting city government. The states are also responsible for the creation of the federal government. And so when you talk about where power lies within those three levels of government, I think it's important for us to make some of those distinctions and not to necessarily just willy-nilly apply a local a local control argument to a discussion that has some more significant and more just some more variables in the discussion. And so I think it's important for us to make those distinctions and to set up and set apart what the fundamental roles of government are at the various levels. I believe that the conversations that are addressed in this bill, if these conversations are to happen, ban the box, minimum wage, mandated sick leave, they need to happen at the state level because our perspective is such that we are able to see across municipalities. And so we have the ability to make decisions that if they impact multiple municipalities or impact business owners that operate throughout local different municipalities, that we have the ability to see that. Our perspective is such that we can do that. In Columbia, if Columbia passes a trash collection ordinance that doesn't apply to the people or the businesses in Ashland or in Centralia or any of the other areas around Columbia, but when you pass issues like these via local ordinance, you're affecting a number of businesses, business owners, and in turn workers throughout the region that you're in. And so this is designed to fix that and to ensure that if we're going to have these conversations, that we're having at the appropriate level of government. And I believe that in these three cases, that level would be the state level.
We appreciate Representative Rowden in bringing the bill forward, as this is an important piece of the Missouri Chamber's policy agenda. First of all, I will say that this is not a reaction as far as the Missouri Chamber goes on any ordinance that is in place by any municipality. This is actually an issue that's a national trend, and in fact 13 other states have already taken passed some sort of legislation that's very similar to this. So it's important to the Missouri Chamber and our members because without this legislation, every city in the state can impose their own regulations on employers. And that could be up to 1,000. I think we're up to 1,000 municipalities at this point. That would not only create a nightmare of bureaucracy, but it really would undermine the ability of Missouri to be known as a business-friendly state and for us to compete for jobs. So we believe it's very, very important. We also believe that the Missouri business community is already in a challenging regulatory environment. If you talk to employers, they'll say that regulations are hindering them from creating jobs as well as stability and uncertainty. And we believe that this legislation takes care of those issues. So I'll just stop there because I know that there's a lot of people here to testify, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the witness? Representative,
To inquire.
proceed.
You said 13 other states have similar language. Is that with all three of these issues or just one, or?
It varies. Some states just have one, some have multiple issues within. There are some states that go further that do put on a level for like discrimination laws that they have to be on a statewide level. We did not go that route in this legislation, so it varies differently.
So are there other states, of the 13, that have all three of these?
Yeah, I believe Mississippi, Florida, Kansas. I'm trying to look through the list here, but there are several that do have.
Yeah, I was just curious if it was just one or all of them or whatever, so thank you.
Right.
Representative Craig,
To inquire, Mr. Chair.
please proceed.
So I think you said that with all the municipalities, you didn't, from what I gather, you don't think the municipalities have enough sense to enact laws. So what are the why do we have municipalities? Are you saying the Missouri Chamber wants to get rid of all these municipalities? That it's too much on overlapping on local different governments,
Yeah.
so it's hurting the whole state altogether?
Yeah, I did not imply that local municipalities had the inability, to pass laws. I mean, I used to work for the municipal league, so I work very closely with cities all over the state. I believe what my testimony and what I meant to say, if I didn't, that in order to remain competitive, it's important that these issues are held on a statewide level, some sort of regulatory uniformity within the state. Because if you have a business in multiple locations and you have different regulations on how those laws are enacted in every one of those municipalities, it is a burden, and it increases the cost of business to do business here in Missouri, and that's concerning.
Because there's so many different municipalities, it's hard to keep track of all the different laws.
Absolutely.